Crazy. Everything's plugged into my laptop. All right. So Tuel is from California, and it was actually brought in back in the 70s, I believe it was, with Eve. Now, Lori Nestor and her sister Lisa are the co-owners currently, and they are Eve's daughters. She actually had quite a few children, but she basically developed this line to help with skincare. And what she actually did was really focused on, not sure if you know this, but in the United States, the state board exams and that was all part of the cosmetology, which was the hair side of things. So she was actually the pioneer to get it going that aesthetics be separated. And she worked with a lot of state boards to set up the exams and the process. It's a lot of work, but she was really the pioneer behind all that to get that going. So she always believed that with her product line, to start with plants and have that natural based skincare and the science behind it all. But really it was about everything natural as possible with her skincare line. And it was back in 1979 is where she truly launched it and began that process. And Lori and Lisa run the company currently. So again, high concentration of plant extracts and always looking at the botanical sides of minerals and natural minerals rich in antioxidants and etc. to help give great results to yourself and your clients. And they always love to quote mom because mom knows best. So that's what they're really trying to look at and honoring her and continuing with Tuel being that a good skincare line, a great skincare line from all ages, and that you can give someone a great skincare line without the GMOs and trying to have it chemical free is meant a lot to them to continue doing that. And I gave the background there on the licensed cosmetology themselves. They're both licensed, and they continue that with their staffing and everything that they do with their training. Yeah. So Tuel is truly, this is kind of repeating a little bit, but it's basically the botanical side of products. And like I said, it's from since 1979 they've done this. And I'm just going to go through this quickly. Now, one thing about this product line that Tuel says the signature, the hero of their whole product line is their deep pore cleansing duo. So that is the demonstration I want to give today, because I think some are missing the details of how to use this product correctly to get the results. When it's done correctly, it's an amazing result. Your clients will love it and you will love it as well. And that's the biggest thing about it. So I'm going to do a quick demo on it. I'm just waiting for my model to arrive. And yeah, basically it's going to take the oils off the skin on a nice gentle way of doing things, just the excess, break down the keratin sites. And I'm just going to jump to the cleanser so you can see, and we'll dive into these together. But I just want to show you all of the cleansers that we carry in Tuel. And I love that they're the names that they give. So say goodbye to dry skin, milk cleanser, and that's going to be packed with your nutrients, the powers of vitamin E, green tea, mandarin to improve the skin. I will dive into these as we go through, but just to generalize, put it together and you'll see the color as well as they are targeted to each one. The Balancing Act milk is designed to balance the combination skins, and the cleansers, the green tea, the vitamin B, the grapefruit. And as I said, we'll dive into a little bit deeper the impurities and regulating the oil production will without disturbing that pH, which is an amazing thing, especially when you're working with the imbalance of skin on the oil side. Control Yourself cleanser. This is a gel cleanser, and this helps with the excess sebum. So refine large pores and again rebalances the pH, and definitely has a great power behind it with the grapefruit, lemon, and rosemary. Clear as Day, and the Clear as Day milk cleanser. This gentle milk cleanser targets everything to soothe and calm the skin, and basically the power behind it as well. I think I just have someone jumping in late. I want to make sure that I get everyone in. There we go. All right. Okay, and going into Let's Be Clear. And like I said, we will dive into this more. And my model has arrived, so perfect timing. Eileen, you can jump up for me. And I'm just gonna leave this on this next duo one. So when we look at deep pore cleansing, I'm gonna stop sharing so that you can see as well what this process is going to be and why we're going to explain it to the level we are. So I'm not going to pin this video because I want you to be able to see what's happening with Maylene as well. I'm going to lift up your beautiful hair here. So I'm not going to do that first step. I'm just going to dive right in. So I'm not going to use a milk cleanser or gel cleanser as that first one. I just really wanted to show how this duo works together with the oil and the herbal toner. For my lean skin, we're actually going to use the dry. And what I'm going to do, because if some of you have already used this, you know it can be a wet facial cleanse here. So I'm going to just pull this under. There we go. Hopefully it won't get too wet. All right. So it's really important with the oil cleanse that you begin with a dry skin on your client. So if you are doing a gel cleanse or a milk cleanse, then you want to make sure that you pat the skin dry and no moisture on them or in your hands as well. So you are going to give a couple pumps of oil. And usually when I'm doing a full facial, I'm doing the neck and the décolleté as well. So you want to really work the oil in. And if you find there's congestion on the skin, that's where you want to take it and just focus on your client for you, or where you begin to see where you want to do extractions, that type of thing. If the client hasn't been using this oil cleanse, it might take a few times to really start lifting off that dead skin, and the process will be faster than this. So this is about 3 minutes long that we're working, and you notice no water is being added at all. The reason you want to work it into that epidermis layer and get into the congestion is because this is starting to break down the keratin that's built up and the sebum that acts like a glue to it, keeping that congestion, keeping the dead skin on there. And think of it like breaking down that bond, if you wish, the glue-like. So we want to do this deep, deep cleansing. And again, just focusing on where you see you would be focusing on the extractions as well in your facials. If they have acne, you just want to be gentle. You notice that it's not very gentle. This isn't a massage. I'm working it in. I want it to get into the layers of the skin, that epidermal layer, stratum corneum. We really want to get that moving into that layer. All right, moving into one more thing. I think what I'm going to do is just bring this in a bit closer so you can see a bit more. There we go. All right, so equal parts of your deep pore herbal cleanser, toner, pardon me. So I did about 3 pumps. So you're working in about 3 pumps of that. Again, no water. Again, this is going to be pH balancing. That's what the herbal toner does. And you'll notice when you're using this, there's a slip to it, so it's kind of creamy, but then it gets really sticky. That's the sign it's ready for water. But you don't want to rush this because the herbal toner is a sugar complex, which is a humectant. And the humectant, as we know, is hydrating and water soluble as well. So we want to make sure. Can you feel the pull on the skin already? So you can also ask your client the same thing. So you don't want it to be uncomfortable. So I'm going to start adding water. And when I add my water, I actually tip my hand up and just wipe it into my hands. And there's more of a slip happening. When you look up close to your product, you're going to see it becomes creamy, milky looking. So the beauty of this duo cleanse is it's a deep pore cleanse. It helps to break down the sebum. It helps to start softening the congestion without stripping the skin like a glycolic. So there's no acid and no alkaline in this at all. This process can be 7 to 10 steps to adding water until it's ready and gone. So you want to make sure that you're really getting the working out that product. So think of it as your oil cleanse is marrying into your skin. Then you're adding your toner. They combined together and get prepared to start separating with the water. You can see how quickly I'm moving with this, how aggressive I am without overdoing it, but you just prepare your client for that. And what you'll notice when it's ready to remove is that it starts to come off the skin and you don't feel as much of the product. You start feeling skin. So take your time with it. As I said, if your client has not done this process before or used an oil cleanse, then this will take a few steps of adding water. It's really important not to rush this step. This is the key to a Tuel facial. Now at home, if you are one of the, I guess you could say the challenges is how long it takes you to do it here. And then you're going to ask your clients to do this at home and they're going to say they don't have time to do all this. But you need to encourage them to do it because they'll notice each time will get less and less. They won't need to be doing what I'm doing or what we are doing on them over and over. So I'm starting to feel the skin under that product. So I'm working on areas that I can feel. Do you notice that, Maylene? Right in there, I can start, it starts to catch the skin. So it's lifting, it's doing its job. So you want the product to do the job for you, which is going to help with the extractions. It's going to help with the products penetrating better, which means greater results. And it is safe to do this right over the lips. If they have lash extensions, then no, or you want to stay away from it. I've done it where I've just done, a huge perimeter around the eye area and stay completely away. Okay, I can start feeling, do you see how our skin is moving with my fingers? Like it's not slipping anymore. So what I'm going to do is get it off my hands as well. Add a little more water check my work. This will probably be another 2 steps of this process. I can still feel the product on her skin. But I removed it from my hands, so I'm not putting it back on my hands onto her skin again, because it defeats the purpose of us trying to do that and removing it. If we keep adding, we're creating more work. Just get your lips, because I can see I dripped into your lip area. How's that feeling, Maylene? Almost there. I always find the cheeks the hardest to remove, or the most challenging than in other areas. It's quite common. So take your time, and then I take my hands, I wipe that so I'm not getting any more on her. Just gonna make sure I have no excess on my fingers. Just gonna check one last time. So I'm checking my work. I don't want to feel any product, because if there's still product, then the products next are not going to penetrate. If there's a little bit of a film, tiny, tiny bit, the next step would be exfoliation. So you're probably going to be removing it. So I'm comfortable with this because I can feel that the skin is sticking to my fingers, if you wish. So I know that it's going to be almost there. So then the next step I would be working in is into that exfoliation. So we would remove that excess if there was any there. But again, you really want to limit how much is there. And as your clients do this at home and come see you for a facial, you should notice a difference with your clients as well, that they're actually using the product at home. Because you'll know if they're not using the product alone, if it took you 7 to 10 passes to remove the product, that means they're not using it. They should see every day a slight improvement and needing less and less water with this. I'm just gonna wipe in here because I didn't remove her makeup. So then she can go on about her day. Maylene's an esthetician as well. So she's gonna carry on this next step of taking care of her beautiful skin while we carry on with our workshop today. Okay, so I'm just going to pause for a moment and I'll reset up my camera for you guys. And yeah, and I'm going to exit out of this. Perfect, Maylene. There we go. And I'll just slip that underneath. Thank you. Perfect. All right. I'm just moving things around so you don't have to see me fumbling my way through this next little bit as we get everything ready to go. Okay, so I'm back to sharing my screen with you. And let me just move this a little bit out of the way. There we go. All right, so back to our presentation. I hope that was helpful. And I'd love to hear at the end how things were, if you noticed a difference or you were doing it all along, or if it helped a little bit more of understanding what was coming next with this. So this is just a short breakdown, like I said. I just wanted to jump in and do that demo really quick, but moving into that cleansing duo again. So they work together. So you can't do one without the other. So ensure that they know that they're purchasing the two together, and they usually come together. But in the professional size, you'll need to do it separate. All right. Just going to stop sharing for a moment, and I'm going to jump to my next page. All right. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Thanks for your patience as we go through this process. Okay. There we go. Back to it. Okay, so working into our moisturizers. Like I said, we'll carry on after this. So the moisturizers, I put them all together so you can see them all right in front of you. The moisturizing nourishing cream concentration, power packed with mega nutrients in it to really quench the thirst of the skin, to really hydrate that skin. Has hyaluronic acid, carrot seed, shea butter, and a full list of antioxidants as well. The balance is a refining moisturizing cream, and this is to balance out the surface level of the skin and to also help with the sebaceous glands and to help watch or monitor and slow down the production, or to rebalance if you wish that. Make Amends is going to be the healing moisturizer. So basically, balance is going to be for that combination skin, whereas your Make Amends is going to target more of the breakout and acne line as well. And the Calm is a soothing moisturizing cream. So this is really wonderful for sensitive skin, eczema, psoriasis, and even rosacea. And like I said, we'll dive into the little bit deeper into the ingredients and why it does what it does. And Rescue is our anti-aging or slowing down the aging, the ultra-rich moisturizing cream. Again, a big concentration of antioxidants, but also helping with the appearance of fine lines. And then we have our masks. So we have Moisturizing Plus. Again, this is the hydration. You have the shea butter in it, and these are wonderful during your process. And you can also sell them to your clients. But the one thing you want to keep in mind is that because there's so much hydration in it, you can also do desert clay with the mixes. And when we cover desert clay, I'll talk a little bit more about how you can play with desert clay as a base to all of your masks. And I dived a little bit more into it when I do the mixology. So I like to have a base knowledge with my workshop people, and then we dive into mixology, and that will make a little more sense when we do that, playing around. So this is base understanding of the Tuel line. Again, the Balance Superfoods. This is going to target that natural balance in the skin. It's also going to help repair, and the clay absorbs that excess oil, whereas the detox, again, is going to be focused on the healing side and replenishing, rejuvenating the skin, and also helping with targeting the scarring that can happen with acne skin. Super Soothe is 2-in-1 calming mask, so this can be your day and your all together in one. So whether it's you can even have this for acne if they're irritated. Like I said, in the mixology, we cover a little bit deeper into how that works, but just keep in mind the base of this is for sensitive skin. And then your Lift Up Firming Mask is a great mask. It's like a gel. And if you leave it on and let it dry, you'll feel the tightening, and your client will notice the tightening effect and firmer look to their skin. Really nourishing day mask with that. Your Desert Clay, this is part of your cabine, your professional line that you have on your back bar. And smectite clay basically is a group of clay minerals that has the ability to expand when they absorb water. So all in all, it's creating a lot of hydration to the skin. Then we have the serums. You have Hydrate Serum. Again, you notice they're all in the same sequence. This is going to be for that hydration. And then absorb mattifying serum. And that again is going to help. Still with the hydration though, that's one thing about the absorb mattifying, it still would target the hydration. We don't want to dry out skin ever. We want it to heal and we want it to balance out the sebaceous production of the oils so that it starts to heal. Sea Power, this is a brightening one. It is also with a lactic acid, adds that brightening to the skin. But this one is the one that helps to fight and to rejuvenate and to heal and really bring in the, how do I say, the antioxidants, the free radical damage that happens, and it protects your skin. That's what vitamin C does, is a protection. But it also has the L-triazinoids in it, so it helps to target the pigmentation, that's the melanin production, so it helps to keep that evenness in the skin. Your Clearest and Blemish Control Gel, this is the one again for the acne. This is the go-to for acne, so it really does help repair the skin. It's that acne busting agent, I guess you could say, but it also helps to repair the damage that's going on in the skin. And it does help to, it's germicidal, it's going to help break down the bacteria that's going on and try to absorb and eliminate that. Also preventing new breakouts as well with that. The U-Turn is a firming peptide serum. This is our anti-age, so it's a dual action with this, but also boosting the collagen in the natural process in our skin. So it really kickstarts those cells, those fibroblasts to keep producing and, or wake them up to keep producing the elastin and the collagen production in our skin. Rehab, this is a healing serum for acne skin only. So it's not a preventative. This is for your clients that have full-blown acne, whether it's stage 2, 3, or 4. It really clears up the skin, it hydrates, and it starts to heal the damage. So it really works on clearing up the breakouts. And the mushroom stem is a big one in the brand, the rice bran, and which you'll notice in anti-aging products, rice bran's in there as well, because it helps with the triazinoid, the melanin production in the skin. Then you have essential oils, same process. You have your moisturizing, your balance and refine, your detox and healing, your calm and soothe, your rescue, which is your anti-age, and then relax is the only one that comes in your professional size. So I just added that in here so that you can see all the essential oils. And keep in mind that the relax is the only one that does not have lavender in it. There are some people becoming a little more sensitive to lavender, and they just generalize that no lavender. So this would be your go-to that you could use on them as well. Then we have our eye care. So we have our Eye Correct, Firm and Lighten, the Fresh Eyes, which is really lightweight and brightening to the skin as well. The Eye Revive, and this is firming with the skin. Some people use this just at night. It depends on what they're using it. Sometimes people find it's a lot of product around the eye for the daytime. So this is an option. You can also do this at nighttime if you want. You can do all three though, just depends on your clients. Sun protection. We don't have any right now, as you are probably aware of that. But good news, because it's coming in October. We don't have a for sure date, but it is coming. And as soon as we have that product, I'll do another education on it so that you have all the information, and we'll send it forward to you too. Okay, moving into our pro or our treatment side of our product line, we have the exfoliation. So Power Scrub is the first one up. The pumice, tea tree in it, lemongrass, and vitamin E. So it really helps to finely scrub out the dead skin that's left, but it's not jagged. It's really, really smooth. So it's not going to be really aggressive to the skin. Our Power Peel has glycolic acid in it. as well. And that helps promote that cell renewal, and it helps to promote and keep pushing or waking up the cells to keep. When you do an exfoliation on the skin, I want you to think of it as a slight trauma to the skin. Depending on the level of your exfoliation, the trauma becomes greater to the skin. And the purpose behind the trauma, don't worry about the word trauma. It's actually about repairing the skin. So when you're repairing the skin, if you create slight trauma, you're promoting the skin to go and heal itself. That's your cell turnover. That's the importance of doing your exfoliations. When we dive into these products separately, then we'll talk about a little bit more of how to use it as well. Salicylic, I know some people can't stay on the whole time, so that's the reason I broke it down, so you can kind of see what would be on your back bar. This is your standard go-to. So salicylic lactic acid, or Sally, Tuel likes to call it. It's a mix of the two together. So you have 20% of salicylic acid and 4% of lactic. And it is a BHA, which is your beta hydroxy. And it dissolves that outer layer. Again, we're removing the keratinized cells of the skin at a deeper level, because this is now penetrating a little more into the layers of the skin. Your glycolic pro solution is about 10%. And we will, like I said, I'll get into the pH of everything too, so that you have that. Just checking my chat if there's anything happening. If you do have questions, write them down. I'd be happy to stay on at the end and go through everything. If there's something happening on my end that you're not hearing me, or this stopped use, you can't see it anymore, then please just jump in. I'll be looking for the chat on this as well. It's your glycolic full strength, as I was saying. Your enzyme peel exfoliation mask helps, again, that's a surface layer of that keratinized cells with gently resurfacing the skin. And it has the papain and bromelain in it, two fruit enzymes that help. So you're getting two things happening here. You have dissolving of the dead skin cells, whereas the power peel, that's going to do the same idea because the HAs that are in it. All right. And it also has that balancing action of the clay in the skin. So I want you to make sure that you realize that it does that. So it's going to be anti-inflammatory, but yet still very hydrating. Almost everything in the product lines are not going to be in Tuel is dehydrating the skin. It's always going to promote that hydrating level. If your skin becomes dehydrated, that's going to throw off the sebaceous glands. It's going to create more issues with the skin. And if you didn't know this, it's 100% vegan, free of sulfates and minerals, of any parabens, that type of thing. And they do not test on animals either. And again, it's made in California from the States. Now, when you're doing your facials, I just want to show the steps to a full facial. So stage one of a facial of Tuel, you're going to be focusing on the eye and lip makeup remover, the surface cleanse, which is your gel or your milk, and then the deep pore cleanse was the step 1 and 2 of the oil and the herbal toner. So you want to make sure that you are following the steps. If you don't have this and you need me to share a copy, I'd be happy to share it with you. So I'm just going to go through this quickly, as I know everyone does facials already, so it should make sense. So you're going to have tepid water. You're going to use the cleansing oil. One thing I didn't mention with the cleansing oil, it's not warm water. You want it on a cool side to make it work better, okay? But with the eye removal, that's what this is for. You can actually use your cleansing oil and place it on the eye makeup and lips and just let it soak on to those areas while you move on to your cleanse. So while it's soaking, you can check quickly, look at their skin, make sure you're understanding what's going on with their skin and what products you're going to be choosing. So then you can start with your surface cleanse. So what type of skin are you dealing with? And then you're going to use your either that milk or that gel on the line. And you want to use water to emulsify these products. So you really do need to add water to get it working as best as you can. Then you remove all and wash probably about 2 rinses, I'd say. This is where you need to pat the skin dry and your hands too. So make sure that they are very, very dry. Don't rub the skin, just blot the skin with the towel. And then you do your oil cleanse. Now, depending on the skin, if they have makeup on, you might need 2 pumps. But start with 1, see if it's enough to get through. And if you need to add another, then go ahead. And then just want to make sure that you are working through the way that I showed you in the beginning of this video. I'm also going to separate that video and have it on the side so that if anyone needs a quick demonstration, that's something that they can look at really quick as well. So again, that oil cleanse, you probably are working at a good 3 minutes. And once it's ready, you add your herbal toner, the same amount. If you did 1 pump of oil, you do 1 pump of herbal toner. If you did 2, then you do 2. And again, you're going to work through that until it gets stiff. You'll notice it as you're working. And if you're not sure what I mean, try it on your hand and see if you can feel what I was trying to describe to you. And then adding that water. And again, as the person is using, so your client goes home with the duo, and as they're doing it every day, they're going to notice how much quicker it is, and they're not going to need to be worrying about how many times. Danny, I have a question in there. Do you think using the enzyme peel mask and add the pro-glycolic would be suitable to use on a young acne client without going to the pro? We're going to talk about that when we dive into the products individually. And I'll keep this in the chat and we'll definitely review that at the end, okay? Thank you for the question. All right. So removing again, you want to check your work. Again, please don't rush this step. It's really important what you're doing at the beginning. It's going to prepare you and make your work a lot easier as you go through the next ones. Okay, and this is the part, oh, sorry, one thing about Tuel that mentioned is switch your bowls at this time. So that's your dirty water, get rid of the bowl. We usually have 3 bowls of water with this. And then even a kettle nearby. I know some people like to use a hot towel cabbie. You can do that as well if you'd like, but this part you kind of need the water. So a towel's not quite going to work for the dual cleanse, just an FYI. All right, stage 2 is the refining. So eye and lip, and then your relax essential oil, exfoliate and extractions is up. So on this one, your enzyme peel is going to be 1 teaspoon and your power scrub 1/4 teaspoon. And I did break this down. So exfoliation right there is 1 teaspoon. And please do your measurements. If you're using more, you're just wasting the product. You don't want to overuse because it's not really going to do anything more for you. So use the measurements that are advised here by Tuel. And then your power scrub is 1/4 teaspoon as well. You mix together with your fingertips with a few drops. So I literally put it in my hand and I drop a few things of water and then I rub it together. So you want to make sure in your little dish, depending how you are as an esthetician or facialist, some people put it right in their hand and do it. If you're using a little container, then you can do that and you just want to mix. I actually don't use my brush for this because I find it sticks in my brush. Maybe it's the type of brush I'm using, but I like to use like a small popsicle stick or one of those reusable plastic sticks and mix up really good into that idea of where it looks like Caesar dressing, not ranch and not a vinegar, actually creamy like a Caesar dressing. And then you can use the brush to spread it onto the skin. And then you can apply the eye product and lips. And there's different things you can do that. Like I said, in the mixology, we kind of dive into some neat ideas you can do for the eye area as well. And then you're going to apply your 3 drops of relax essential oils. And I like to hold this over their face, not super close. You want about 2 inches away from their face. And I cup my hands and I tent it over their mouth and their nose and allow them to have 3 good yogic breaths. So that's just that big inhale and exhale so that they start to relax and the nice part of the facial kind of gets them ready to mentally as well. So again, bringing that holistic side into your treatments is really, really beneficial, especially that's kind of the I don't want to say trend, but that's what's happening in our world and our society. So as much as you can bring in that holistic side, a little more beneficial on that. So you apply your prepared exfoliation, and then you get your next bowl ready. So this is where if you have a kettle, you have your hot water, you pour some in. And then when you have the exfoliation, you want to keep it wet. So this is where you're steaming, or you can use your towels, your hot towels on there. That will work as well. But it definitely needs to be moist because it's an enzyme peel base to it. So you want to make sure that it's doing its job being moist. So it's like that eating away at the dead skin cells, like that Pac-Man style as stated in here. So then you can dilute with water a little bit with the power scrub first before starting to remove it, and work that product in with your fingertips as well. And then you remove the exfoliation. And this next step is where you add your pre-soak extraction solution to the areas that you're going to be extracting. And it can be a strong smell to it. It has a strong alcohol base to it. And I'll explain that a little more detailed of how that works. Not to be scared, it's not going to dehydrate the skin. It will change the pH balance of the skin, but it's not going to dehydrate. Using this product will help you with your extractions. You won't have to be forcing it as much. So allow it to sit in the congested area that you want to work on. And then you would move into stage 3. So about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes of extractions. We don't recommend more than that. More than that can cause more inflammation to the skin. It's uncomfortable depending on how much you're working with them. And really, you can't get it all done in one treatment. This is something that they need to start coming in for as well. So this is the nourishing side. So you want to have your clients relaxed. You use your appropriate essential oil to their skin type that you figured out at the beginning, so the skin analysis. And then you press your hands together as well, just like you did with the relax, and then massage that into the skin. So you can add a little bit of water to get it emulsifying a little bit. Now you add hydrate, and then your cream. So it's important that you're layering here. So the first thing you do is you put your essential oils on the skin, rub it into the skin gently, and then allow that to just penetrate for a moment while you go to reach for the cream that you've picked. Then you add your cream and you work that into the skin. Oh, pardon me, the hydrate first. Put that on, make sure it's absorbed a little bit before you go to the cream. So make sure that you are layering your product. It's really important. Don't mix this together. It's going to curdle, it's going to crumble. And while you're doing massage, if you notice that the cream is starting to peel or come into like a dry glue almost, then you haven't absorbed the layering yet. So it could have been too fast, or potentially it could have been even the oil cleanse, maybe didn't get it all off on that dual cleanse. So really watch to see where it happened. If you rush this part, this is where that can happen. And then you add water for the slip on this. You don't add more product, you add water only. Again, it's also going to add hydration, because as you add water, we have the humectants that are in the product is really going to pull that water into their skin. So they'll get that nice plump feeling by the end of their facial. So massage about 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Everybody's a little bit different with this. So just do what you normally do in your facial. With Tuel Standard Facial, it's about a 5-minute massage. And just keep in mind that the ring finger, middle finger is more gentle around the nose, and try not to push at the nose. Everyone's cartilage is a little bit different. Some are harder, some are softer. And then finish off the massage. You do not remove the product. Leave it on. You're going to use your mask, even amounts of 1/3 of each, or even up to 4. So if you choose 3 masks to use, then you want to do 1/3 of each one. And don't forget the desert clays in this one. And then if you're doing 4 masks, then it's 1/4 to each, and so on. So we'll talk about that when we get into the products. There's a lot you can do. This is where I get in more involved in the mixology of it, because then you know the product line. So when we talk about it, it'll make more sense. Then you do the finishing mask, finishing it off, and add a little bit of water to rub it, put it in and mix it all up. Again, I like to use a plastic stick that I can wash and clean and disinfect, and then use my brush to spread on. I'm kind of a hands-on girl, so I do use my fingers a lot more. But you can add it in, and it should look like cake batter by the time you're done. So go slow with the adding of the water. It's just more to get that desert clay to blend into your mask. And you want to leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes, cover the eyes. And this part, this is where you are waiting. You can work on your sheet of their home care, giving their prescription, what they're going to be doing for their basic cleanse, that type of thing. Or what do you think you can work with their product line and their regime that they're doing, their routine, and what you think would be beneficial to them. And you can start adding it while it's fresh on your mind. I actually, at this point, like to get my retail out and bring it in the room so I can go through it with them as well. So that's another tidbit. All right, so you're going to remove the mask. You need fresh water for this. And re-wet with your sponges even, or if you have gauze, if you don't have sponges, use gauze to re-wet the mask, because especially if it dries on the edges, this way it'll wipe off a lot easier. If you are using towels for this, just keep in mind the white towels, you're probably going to have to bleach them out because the desert clay really does stick to it. Just keep that in mind. I like to use that first layer with gauze and remove, or my sponges, my second set of sponges, and then finish it off with the towel so I don't have as much stuck into my towel, but that's just me. So doing what's comfortable for you. Okay. And then you're finishing stage 4. You're nourishing, hydrate, absorb, your eye treatment, your care, and then your day and night. So you always apply thinnest to thickest with the eye care. And then you do the C power, like everybody gets C power. Everyone can use C power. I love how they say it's the lime for your guacamole. It protects the skin from the sun, and it's brightening as well. And apply your hydrate. Again, this is layering. Then you can move into your eyes and lips. And then your daily protect of the creams that you want to use. And of course, your SPF as well. All right, just going to pause there for a quick moment. And then we're going to dive into the next important part of Tuel is we've done this part already. If you don't know Tuel, the color coding is everything about Tuel, which is really helpful. And when you have your setup in your retail and in your back professional bar, like if it's on outside, or you can have baskets with each one. But if you line them up together, then you always have them always in the right spot. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. Sorry, I have to put reactant up there as well. Now, how do you know which product to use? So we want to really think about the skin analysis. Tuel has a unique way of doing skin analysis. And what you want to do is look at what are we correcting? What are the conditions? What are their skin types? What environment are they usually in every day? Those are things to think about. And look at the 4 steps to doing a skin analysis the Tuel way. So you determine your skin type first. So by determining skin type, you are going to do the 3 Ps with that, and we'll talk about what that is. So you're looking at the jaw, you're looking at the pores. You want to do the push check for dehydration, which is literally just at the jaw, and you lift up and you're going to see if there's any fine lines through there. The pinch test is for thickness of the skin. This is going to determine your exfoliation. Which one are you going to do? How long do you do it? So with thin skin, the enzyme peel mixed with water. For medium skin, and what I'll mention, thin skin would almost be like an eye area lid, like an eyelid area. When you pull on it, that's how thin it is. A medium tends to be the most common, and that's when you pinch, but you don't feel the skin, you feel tissue under that skin as well. And then thick skin, this is where you can dive into the stronger ones. You can also prepare the skin to get to the glycolics and the salicylic and lactic, but that'll take some time. And that's in our advanced treatments as well. So I go through that in the advanced treatment workshop. So when you think of observing and questions to ask your clients, you want to ask them, do you get oily during the day? One thing I would add in that is also think of seasonal. So maybe in the winter, spring, they don't get oily, but in the summer, they notice that they get a little bit shiny through the day. So that might change their skin because of the seasons. But keep that in mind. If they're oily all the time, then we know automatically they're oily type of skin. And do they keloid is an important one because of the extractions. If they don't say yes or no, like they don't know what it is, then they probably don't keloid, but you can explain it. It's just an overproduction of the connective tissue as the scarring that happens in the skin, and it kind of raises the scar. So you want to be careful when you're doing extractions, and that's why we bring that up. Do they react to products? Have they ever reacted to products? Tell me more about it. So ask them what it is. Was it itchy and burning, or was it stimulating and tingly? Like maybe it wasn't a reaction and they felt like it was and they were worried it was. So you really want to think about, do they stay pink all the time? Do they have any tendency to rosacea? That's a common one nowadays. And same with eczema or eczema, depending how you say it. So you don't want to just jump into the calm line to be safe. Really take the time to see what's going on with their skin. And are they using any kind of topicals or allergens? If they are on any medications, things like that. So you really want to look at those types of things. And again, looking for that hyperpigmentation as well. Yes, Danny, we do have consultation forms, and we can chat about that at the end as well, okay? Like I said, if you can't stay on the whole time, guys, then feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'll make sure you have what you need in your hands as well. When you do an opening order, everything is in the booklet, and if you've been just piecing your products together, that's okay too. Just let me know, and then I'll make sure that you can have a few things in your hands, so then you can either customize your own or feel free to use the ones that are given to you. The other thing too is that any trauma to the skin can cause the hyperpigmentation, so ask them if it was, or was it just with time and age and what they did when they were younger, no sunscreen or burning of the skin. And if they've done any kind of exfoliation in the last few months, right? So you want to ask them the last time they did anything, be really specific. Again, surgeries, injections, Botox, everything. You got to, that's all in the form. So make sure you got them filling out your forms. All right. Oh, didn't realize that was in the way. I'm so sorry. Okay, skin types. That's our next one. So when we talk about it, we all have a primary skin type, if you wish. But how you want to determine the type of skin type is really based on oil production. So the size of the pores. So if you have, the T-zone's common already, so we know this. But if you take your thumbs and place them on either side of the nose, and your typical T-zone, right? Outside of that is when you determine what type of skin do they have. So if they have large pores covering a third of their face, that's an oily skin type. If they don't have as much and it's just outside their nose slightly, it's really not coming out of the traditional T-zone area, then that can be, your dry skin type, that type of thing. So when you go into the next one, you have your dry, combo, and oily. So that's just determining their skin type based on their oil production and their pore size. Now we need to look at, and what Tuel does, is their secondary skin type. So all skins are probably going to be dehydrated, or 99.9% of them. So we know that. And again, this line addresses that in all of its products. So you don't have to worry about the dehydration side. You can tell your client that you're going to work on the dehydration through the products you choose, but so you know as a professional, every product in here is going to work on dehydration. The next thing is the mature skin, and acne and reactive skin override the skin type. So if you have a client come in and you figured out their primary skin type, but they're a mature client and or acne and or reactive, they trump the skin type that you're dealing with. Okay, so if they are dry skin type and mature, then you're going to focus on mature skin. Okay, if they are oily skin but have acne, now you're moving into the acne. You need to take care of these things first. So if they're a reactive skin but yet oily, you need to work on the reactive first before you can deal with the oily. Hopefully that makes sense. So you want to match the conditions with the corresponding secondary product line, okay? So mature skin is considered over 40 because of what's going on in their skin at that age and older, and their lifestyle and what they do. That's when they begin to lose the collagen, elastin, and they need stimulation and the anti-aging products and all of those things, right? When you get into acne skin, it can be dry, combination, it can be both. It can still be reactive, right? So that one's a tricky one. So if they're reactive and acne, you're going to be working with both product lines on that. And I can explain that in the mixology more when we get into it. But just to give you an idea, right, of what you're looking for. And this can be at any age. So if they are mature, have acne, and are sensitive, you need to work on the sensitive, the acne, and the maturity. And with this line, you can do all three in your treatments all the time, okay? Now, the reactive on its own, you're going to see what's going on with their skin. So not to worry, if they're on a full blowout of rosacea, then I'd be concerned about what I was going to do with the peels and that type of thing. But you can do a facial on a rosacea client, which is in our treatments, in our advanced treatments. So we'll be going through those too in the other workshops, but just be aware, it's not that you cannot do facials on rosacea or eczemic skins or psoriasis. All right, so you have your mature, acne, and reactive. All right, how's everyone making out? Doing well? We have about an hour to go, hour and a half to go. 11:30 to 1:30. 11 to 1:30, pardon me. Okay, so moving into our first product line. So this is where we're going to dive into each one individually. So everything under the moisturizing dry skin line. So we have our first one, which is Say Goodbye to Dry. This is a nutrient-packed cleanser, milk cleanser that is. It's high in vitamin E, green tea, and mandarin. So vitamin E is your antioxidant, protects. Mandarin oil improves texture, regenerates the cells. Green tea extract, again, acts as that antioxidant, anti-aging, repairs and strengthens the skin. And pathanol is a form of vitamin B and moisturizes and heals and softens the skin. So when I get into this next, the professional application, we just went through the steps of the facial. So this is for each one of how you would do a facial or steps for your client. So how you work this again, you start with your surface cleanse. We call this a surface cleanse. Then you would move into your dual cleanse and then your exfoliation and etc. But basically with this one, you always use the cool side of the water and you use it to emulsify, and you can do the barber wrap is just the big towels or your hot cabin towels to remove, but I wouldn't do it hot. That's the only thing. So if you can do sponges or gauze would be beneficial to this. You can do barber wrap, but not a hot one from your hot cabin towel cabin. Now, moving into at home again with the cleanser, their exfoliation, they can mix this with Power Scrub for gentle exfoliation if they would like. It does say on the body, it's quite a bit of product to be using on the body. But if someone had, a little bit of dry skin on their elbow or something, then it wouldn't hurt to do it. And this actually works as a shaving milk as well for your gentlemen that do that as well. And then every product has a list of ingredients in it as well. So deep pore cleanse, this is what I actually used on Maylene today. So again, as we talked about it, it's going to leave your skin supple, soft, and plump. It's not going to feel squeaky clean. We don't want that. That means you've stripped the oils of the skin. You still want it to be cleaning the skin, but not where it's doing so much of it, right? So we just want that key side of things that it's going to start removing and breaking down the oil buildup, the keratin sites of the cells, the dead skin cells, and the glue-like. So sunflower seed is antioxidant, high moisturizing conditions. Vitamin E is antioxidant and protects and rejuvenates. Mandarin oil improves the skin circulation and helps promote cell growth, which is important. And your chamomile extract is going to be extra antioxidant and helps with the skin as well. So moving into how we talked about that 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the first time. If you really want to take it to a little bit longer, you could do it for the full 5 minutes. And then it just explains about the herbal toner, how to add that in as well. So each line, each product is broken down this way, so you know. And at home, I really advise you to, if you're selling this to your client and they're going home with this product, step 1 and 2, then you want to make sure with the deep pore cleanse, you have them do it on the back of their hand. Don't do it for them. You do it for them. So make sure their hand is dry. Do a small little pump of oil on their hand. One thing too is make sure a lot of people start doing this with their hands, and you don't want to do that. You want them to just one hand clean, working the oil, and then show them how they add the toner to it and working that in, and then adding with this hand the water to it. When they start doing this, it loses everything. So I really focus on telling them how to work it, and then you show them what they're doing with their fingers to work it. When they do this, they're not going to do that to their face, right? So you really want to take the time to show the demonstration. It goes a long ways when they know how to use the product. And then they'll love the product as well. Again, a complete ingredient list there. And again, it has the 2 sizes. In retail, it always comes together. It's never separate. So just keep that in mind. And then your herbal toner, your moisture, step 2. Again, this is what I used on Maylene today to help with the dryness in her skin. Cucumber extract, very, very rich and soothing and cooling to the skin. The dandelion extract is a herbal remedy and high in antioxidants and helps to heal. The hops extract is healing and helps to prevent that irritation and promotes the skin's resilience as well. So it's building up the strength in the skin. Again, the steps, you're going to see the same process. Deep pore cleanse first, pump of moisturizing oil, and then working through. Now on here, you're going to notice it has ionized. You can use an ampule with this to deepen this even more if you've got your equipment. Okay. Again, at home, you want to help encourage them how to use this step, how to do this 2 together. And again, the size is the same thing. And your complete list. Then in the moisturizing line, there is the Nourishing essential oil, and it leaves the skin soft and supple. It really has a high level of antioxidants, rich in plant extracts, a blend of rosemary and bergamot and mint and geranium, which delivers that concentrated dose of high vitamins to the skin and nutrients. It really boosts the hydration in the skin, and it also kickstarts the repairing of the skin to improve circulation. So note there's lavender in this one. Okay, remember I said there was only one that didn't have lavender? Bergamot mint helps to calm antibacterial and oil control as well. So they're just on the drier side. That means the sebum's not producing what it needs to do at a natural. It's either overproducing for oily or underproducing with dry. So keep that in mind. The rose is antioxidant, antiseptic, and geranium is balancing and promotes that circulation and very rejuvenating as well, so really healing. Whereas that rosemary is going to purify as well as promote circulation and stimulate. And there's also grapeseed oil in this, and that is really lightweight and fast absorbing. So it's not a super heavy, oily kind of essential oil blend. Again, remind them to layer it on. So your essential oil is liquid. It's going to be a smaller molecule, so it's going to penetrate faster, deeper than a cream base. So making sure that putting that on first, and then they can do a mask if they'd like at home. And then finishing with your, always recommend the Sea Power to everybody. It's a great way to do that. So if they had both, let's say they had their essential oil and their Sea Power and their cream at home, then you would start with their essential oil, then the Sea Power, and then the day cream that you've asked them to use. The other thing you could do is reverse the Sea Power first and then do, because it's still really small molecule. But the idea behind it is layering or separate it, say Sea Power for the day and their essential oil at night. For evening too, you can also have them work on superhydrate. So they're going to also give you recommendations for the skin type and what they can do. Okay. Nourishing cream, power packed, that's going to quench the thirst in the skin as well. Again, they're all hydrating product lines. You can see that has sodium hyaluronate. That's a humectant. Again, humectant is going to really take on the moisture that's there. So have them drink lots of water. It's going to assist with that doing the job it needs to do of the effects of what a humectant does. Vitamin E is antioxidant. It's also rejuvenating and softening to the skin. And shea butter heals, soothes, and protects. And carrot seed is anti-aging, and it's a powerhouse to the skin. And most creams sit at about a 5 pH, so they're all balanced for the skin. Okay, so professional, you use this as your massage cream. So you would apply your serum first, so you're layering it, right? So you're doing your essential oil first, then your hydrate serum for this one, and then you would use this cream as your massage cream. So layering in that massage. And you can finish with your cream on top after it's all done. And again, over your hydrate super serum at night. And then you can also use that Sea Power. So again, at home, applying that small amount to face the neck for maximum benefit on top of the hydrate serum. That's a great combination for dry skin type, is the hydrate serum. The mask. Key ingredients are shea butter, so it heals to promote and protect. Murray butter is anti-aging and nourishes and hydrates, restoring the elasticity of the skin. Your sunflower butter is an antioxidant, softening and soothing and hydrating. Again, so much hydration for this skin person that you're working on. And the sodium hyaluronate is that humectant that we talked about. So really working on bringing moisture to the tissue of the skin. And vitamin E is the antioxidant, protects and rejuvenates and softens and soothes. So the professional application with your nourishment. Okay, so it's telling you how long to do it. And you want a nice thin coat. More is not better with this. Usually it's about the size of a loonie idea, about that size, to a toonie. If you're really getting a lot into the décolleté, you leave on for about 10 minutes with your masks. And again, at home, they can use their treatment, leaving on 10 minutes. And really, it depends how often they can use it. And again, you just have them dampen it before removing. They can use warm water to remove that as well. So if they want to emulsify with water first, and then remove with their sponges or face cloth. Complete list of ingredients. Beautiful. Okay, working into our Balancing Act Milk Cleanser. Okay, this one here is designed to balance combination skin. Okay, so the Balancing Act Milk Cleanser is for combination skin. It's packed with green tea and vitamin B. It helps to work on the impurities and regulate that oil production as well without disturbing the pH of the skin. So it has the hybrid sunflower oil, which nourishes and protects, firms as well. The green tea is that antioxidant, anti-aging, but it also repairs and strengthens the skin. And the vitamin E, which you're seeing throughout a lot of our products, right, is the antioxidant, protects, rejuvenates, and soothes and softens that skin. Grapefruit is an astringent. So that's going to have both alpha and beta hydroxy in it, and it helps to clarify and tone. And your Pathanol, form of vitamin B, it helps to moisturize and heal, soften the skin. Your professional application with this. So these cleanse, surface cleanse on the skin. Again, you're using water to help emulsify that. And the special exfoliation treatment is the power scrub as well. So you can mix it with the power scrub if you would like to add more to it. At home, their cleanser, again, is to moist hands and massaging into face and neck, emulsify as need, and then just rinsing off. Again, they can add that power scrub at home if you feel that they need a little extra a couple times a week to exfoliate the skin. It can also be used as a shave. So there are a lot of gentlemen that like to use this as their cleanser, but then they also use it to shave with. So it's quite gentle. Again, pH balance, so it's not going to be aggressive. And it's actually very soothing. At the same time, it's going to combat that combination oily skin. And then the remaining ingredients. Control Yourself Gel Cleanser. This is for your oily skin type, okay? So this cleanser is going to cut through that excess sebum that's built up in the skin. So again, it's a gel and it's not going to affect the pH. Remember, you don't have to worry about that after, but it's definitely going to help break down or what's the word I'm looking for, that the shine of the skin with the grapefruit, lemon, and rosemary. So the lemon's astringent, antibacterial. Whereas the grapefruit peel still will help, but it helps to balance the pH, and also a natural, easy cleanser for the skin and gently exfoliating the skin again. And your grapefruit extract, again, has that combination of BHAs and AHAs, your alpha and your beta hydroxy acids, and clarifies and tones. And your rosemary is your purifying, rejuvenating, and helps to stimulate that circulation. And witch hazel is in this. So it's a natural cleaner, astringent antioxidant, and it tones and soothes the skin as well. Again, surface cleanse, that's your first one. This one will get a little foamy when you add the water as well. And again, just rinsing it off with your barber wrap or your sponges if you'd like. And then your exfoliation treatment is to mix it with this, the power scrub again for the back of for the back, hands, and arms if you'd like, depending what you're adding into their treatment. At home, the facial cleanser, again, you want to make sure they understand how it works and how to use it properly. And again, they can mix that power scrub at home as well if they'd like. And this can be used for shaving as well. And again, the complete ingredient list. Now we have our deep pore cleansing oil. You're going to see a lot of the same ingredients and things as we're going through each line. So you can see this is the blue one. So this is going to cut that excess sebum, like we said, in your two-step deep pore cleanse. So it has sunflower seed oil and vitamin E. Vitamin C is added into this one. It's going to increase the collagen production, and it's also going to brighten the skin as well. There's grapefruit in this as well. Again, that's your AHA and BHA in there. And again, you start off with your cleansing, your pre-cleanse or surface cleanse before moving into this, and eye makeup is removed. And you want to spend that 3 minutes to about 5 minutes, depending on your client's needs. And at home, explaining to them, showing them like we did. I'm not going to go over that because we've done that already, but remember step 1, step 2, and how to use that on their skin. So this is where it becomes repetitive, and then I can quickly kind of go through. So we just focus on ingredients right now on this, okay? All right, step 2 is your deep pore cleanse. So again, it has lemon, burdock, and ivy, and sage in it. And all the steps are going to be the same process here. Basically the same thing that they're going to be doing professionally as you are at home and when you're recommending it as well. And again, it's the complete ingredient list. Moving into our Balanced Refining Moisturizing Cream. So think of this as it's balancing the skin from the outside in. So it's going to start on the top as that surface level cream. Help to strengthen the skin. And the sunflower is in this one. It helps to nourish and protect, yet it still firms and hydrates. The silk amino acids is a peptide and natural protein to it, which helps to protect and tighten with the antioxidant in it. Vitamin E. Again, there's vitamin E in quite a few of these, and lavender is in this cream as well. So keep that in mind. Make a note of which ones have lavender. So if there's clients that are sensitive to it, you know that already. And the phospholipids are moisturizing, organic lipids that improve the skin and protects the cells. So I made a note there, it's soluble in water and oil, so it's not going to be clogging the pores or anything like that. Your professional application is going to be the same process. Your cream is going to help with the massage, and it's also going to be your finishing cream. On this one, they actually do recommend that you're using on the finishing cream is the Hydrate Serum first, or the Absorb Mattifying Serum as well. So you could do Hydrate at, or the Absorb one if you would like. So sometimes at a daytime finish client coming in for a treatment, I might use the Absorb Mattifying for days so they can get through their day. But if it's an evening treatment, then I might choose the Hydration Super Serum instead. Or you can just stick to the Absorb if they're very shiny, right? And then the home application as well. So they would want to be using that Hydrate Serum or the Absorb Mattifying Serum under their moisturizer. And a complete ingredient list as well. Now we're moving into the superfood mask, the balanced superfood mask. This is like a superfood for the face. It is amazing amount of healing that this does. Think of it like a super salad for the skin, for the face, and it helps to nourish the skin at a cellular level. And the phytonutrients are antioxidant, anti-inflammatory benefits to them. Whereas you can see with the white, the kaolin clay will help absorb that excess oil and help detoxify as well. And it does help reduce hyperpigmentation, especially for acne skins, because if they've had it and they have any kind of healing going on, it'll help increase that cell turnover rate. And the spinach is vitamin and antioxidant rich, promotes the healing and brightening. And the microlage is antioxidant and promotes the skin barrier function. So it's balancing the oil production while it's fighting free radicals at the same time. The professional application for your nourishing, this is your mask. After massage, without removing that cream, you're going to apply this right onto the skin and leave it for 10 minutes. And then rinse and finish with your balanced cream and your appropriate eye cream. For massage, a thin layer can be used as well, even over the balanced cream if that's something that you think would help as well. So moving it together. This one you can put together. At home, asking them to use it, like 2 to 3 times a week to really get it under control again and start working with the oils of the skin. And a complete ingredient list as well. Your Balance Refining Essential Oil. this is what's going to get the skin in control, like the sebum back into control and help with the balancing of that secretion. The complete ingredients that has lavender in it, German chamomile, which is antioxidant, but also antimicrobial. So it helps to rebalance the bacteria going on in the skin. And bergamot also balances the oils and soothes. And the cypress is an astringent, emollient, and it helps with minimizing pores, whereas the lemongrass is anti-inflammatory, it soothes and refreshes the skin, and the palmarosa is antibacterial. So really going to be fighting with any kind of breakouts that they might be having from the oily skin. But the ylang ylang is also aromatherapeutic, so it's very, very calming for the skin, because a lot of times people, when they have a skin type like this, if they're not very happy with their skin too, so it helps to help soothe them as well, and balances oils and tones. Grapeseed oil is in this, and it's lightweight, fast absorbing, anti-aging as well, because it's antioxidant. So in your Nourish, you're going to place a few drops on before the massage. So this would be what you'd be using. And then you can add a few drops to enhance the finishing mask if you would like. And then the finishing product at the end, using Sea Power as a daytime for extreme hydration. And for evening, using on clean skin, of course, is the super serum, the Hydrate Super Serum. Thus, we can finish sending them home. And at home, same idea of using a few drops on the skin and to help. And a lot of times this product can be used day or night, depending on what your client prefers to do. Moving into your mature skins, Beat the Clock Milk Cleanser. Again, when you're using this one, you're going to be adding that water to it to help emulsify. But this one is great with the vitamin A, C, and B, and E, plus the carrot seed and argan oil in it. It restores that elasticity. It really fights with the aging and help restore the fine lines in the skin. Vitamin A, antioxidant, and stimulates that new collagen production and for new cell stimulation as well. Vitamin C, promotes that collagen and elastin as well, also antioxidant and promoting circulation. Vitamin E is going to help heal and rejuvenate and soothe and protect the skin. And argan is an extreme conditioning product, so it has a lot of properties that help with extremeness of the skin that needs that extra conditioning, healing, if you wish, of the skin. And rosewood is stimulate cell and regenerates tissue. Here's your rosewood. Okay, and carrot seed. So carrot seed is that anti-aging powerhouse and brightens and rejuvenates the skin as well. Surface cleanse, so you're adding that water to emulsify, removing. It can be with warm water. Cool water is the best with their products, but or countertop water. And they can mix also, you can mix this with the power scrub if you'd like to add a little bit more to it. And at home, you're going to be cleansing and rinsing off. They can mix the power scrub in with it for a gentle exfoliation. And it can be used for shaving as well. And your complete product list of ingredient. All right. Your deep pore cleansing oil, again, you're going to see the pretty much the same ingredients: vitamin A, C, E, the argan, the carrot seed, and the rosewood. And we talked about the steps on how to use this, so that doesn't change. And then going into your deep pore cleanse number 2, you're going to notice the same idea of the products as rosemary. This one has horsetail, as it's an antioxidant astringent and really nourishes the skin. And hops is the other thing in this, and that's antioxidant and antibacterial. And lemon is an astringent, antibacterial, conditions and tones the skin. And cornflower actually stimulates cells and firms and hydrates the skin as well. Coneflower. Your application, same concept. You start with that superficial cleanse, and then you need to use your deep pore cleanser first, and then applying your toner and emulsifying that 3 to 5 minutes. I've actually spent on some people who have never, the last time they exfoliated was months, and they're not using a really good cleanser that helps to break down the sebum buildup. I spent like 10 to 15 minutes on this first steps before I even got going, because it just took that many passes on the skin to really work the skin. So really do explain that to your clients of each time they get it done and they're doing it at home, that'll be a lot quicker for sure. Yeah, and if you want to do the ionization on this with an ampule to provide that deep nourishment, you can do that as well before that mask. Home, same idea. Dry skin, dry hands. Spend that 3 to 5 minutes and let them know it will get better with time. And your full ingredient list as well. Ultra Rich Moisturizing Cream is next. Okay, so this one is a high concentration, a very rich cream in antioxidants. Siberian ginseng bamboo for that hydration, as well as pea extract. And glucosine as well helps strengthen the skin. So algae stimulates collagen and tightens, whereas the bamboo silica is that antioxidant and regenerates the skin and helps condition. The pea extract is your firming side of it, so it helps with the elasticity, along with the glucosine is antioxidant, protecting and nourishing and tones. And your green tea is antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, repairing. And of course, coenzyme Q10 is going to help stimulate that collagen elastin through your fibroblasts and help promote that moisture. So again, this can be used in the massage for anyone over 40. This line again is for over 40 or 40 and older. So not so much of a preventative for your 30-year-olds to stick to what the protocols are because of what's going on with the skin at this age. Okay. And again, hydrate serum for nighttime is always great. And under the Daily Protect sunscreen, you can add a thin layer for cold months. If you need to add a little bit more of it, you can. And Sun Protect, I just said Sun Protect, meaning any kind of sunscreen. At home, it's going to a small amount, probably the size of a baby pea with your day creams, by the way. You don't need a ton of cream. Less is more, so that it's just on how they put them on. So I always try to tell my clients not to dot on the product. I actually wipe it in my fingers, and I separate my fingers, and I do some on my cheeks and my forehead, chin, and then I blend it all in, and neck and décolleté as well. And I just put a highlight in here. At the bottom, you're going to see there's macadamian, maculum oil in it. Lift Up Firming Mask. So this is going to help protect the skin. It's going to help tighten the skin. It's going to really nourish the skin. Moisturizing levels quite high as well. And it definitely looks firmer and brighter. It's a really lovely product line. A lot of clients over 40 have really enjoyed this product. Okay, so as the others you've seen in there as well, algae is in this one. It's the one thing that's a little bit different. So it stimulates that collagen and tighten, and green tea, antioxidant, anti-aging, which also repairs and strengthens the skin. And there's vitamin A for that stimulation of that new collagen and elastin for new cell growth. And vitamin E to help heal, rejuvenate, soothe, and protect. So your masks are going to be applied the same way throughout your treatments. And leaving on your mask for at least 10 minutes if you can. It's important to give it time to the skin to really penetrate and do its job. And again, layering that product that we talked about. So it'd be your essential oil, then your super serum, the hydrate serum, and then your mask on top as well. So if you need to add, you can. This is basically what we're saying. body treatment, as in this, like you can also do it alone or you can mix it with desert clay mask as well. And we'll get into the desert clay so you understand how to work with it. At home, same thing. A nice thick layer of this is good for it to sit. If it dries on them, just tell them to moisten it first. They can use their fingers down and just work it up so it gets moist, so it comes off easier. Otherwise, and this one is really a challenge to get off the skin. So before, when your client gets up out of the bed, take a look at them and take a look to see if you've missed, because it's translucent. You can't see this mask at all. So all of a sudden you come out in the day light and you look at them and there's like a piece sitting by the eye or under the chin or the end of the nose. So take a look at that one as well. But it's a great mask to have for home care as well for them. They're going to really feel the hydration in the skin and that nourishment to the skin. So that plumping action in the skin. And complete ingredient list. U-turn firming peptide serum. This is going to help boost, and again, peptides are a string of amino acids. They're held together by nitrogen and carbon bonds. So they kind of look like a string of pearls. This one also has flaxseed in it, which brightens and soothes. And here's your tridipeptide 5, which is your wrinkle reducer. And like I said, small peptides that mimic the skin production of collagen is what this does. The hexapeptide 8 prevents the formation of the lines and wrinkles, and the bisabolol is an anti-inflammatory and calms and soothes the skin. And the flax, it's nourishing and soothing. That's something different that we haven't seen yet. It's the flax. And aloe, we've covered aloe before. We know it stimulates and heals the skin and soothes. Professional application. This would go over your sea power. So sea power is usually first. And then this can go under your hydrates. So yeah, there are people that use all three. They do sea power, then they use the U-turn, and then they use the hydrate. But you want to layer then if you are using all of them. Daytime, you apply over sea power and under hydrate. And nighttime, you want to change that and apply the essential oil. And so you apply that over the essential oil, the U-turn, and then you would apply it under the hydrate serum. So the serum is the hydrate is the last thing that you would layer on. Again, depending what time of the day you're doing that treatment can change what you want to do with them. So at home, same idea, a few pumps and getting into their face, avoid the eye area. You can get to the eye area, just watch how close. Some people are putting it right in, and then some people's skin absorbs quicker than others. So if they feel a blurriness to their skin, anything like that, they probably got a little too close to the eye. And follow up with their hydrate serum and your complete ingredient list. Beautiful. All right, moving on to our Rescue Anti-Age Essential Oils, the blend. This is the fountain of youth in a bottle. This is what Lori and Lisa actually always talk about, and you'll see it on their Instagram even, that they love this rescue oil. They think this has been the most beneficial for their slowing down the aging process. So it's quite rich in for that firmer look, helping reduce any age spots, things like that. And it's just like a huge dose of vitamins for the skin. So rosewood stimulates cell, regenerates the tissue. Marjoram is antiseptic, soothes and heals. Cypress is an anti-astringent and emollient condition too, so minimizes pores. And lavender is in this one as well, which isn't all of them except the relax. And it's antiseptic, cleanses and balances and soothes and heals. Your carrot seed is in this one as well. So we know it's anti-aging powerhouse that brightens and rejuvenates. And vetiver is rejuvenates, detoxifies, and hydrates the skin. So really a lot of key ingredients in this for that aging skin and to help slow things down and really plump up the skin. So super stimulating, regenerating, visibly help reduce the age spots as well. And of course, I mean, they need to use sunblock to help prevent that, but at least it will help what's there as well. So nourishment, you're going to put a few 5 to 7 drops in your hands, rub your hands together, and apply to the face and décolleté. Again, just like the relax, you can have it over top just for a moment so they get a good smell, and then you can place it on. And then adding your mask, so 5 drops to enhance the finishing mask. If you want to add it into your mask, you can. In fact, you can do that with all the essential oils into the mask. I believe that was covered in the other ones. And finishing using this over the Sea Power as your daytime finish for extreme hydration. This one is a little bit of an oilier because the jojoba, but it does penetrate quite quickly into the skin. It's quite lovely, this product line, the Rescue. And at home, so 5 to 7 drops, rub together and put it onto the face, neck and décolleté, and avoid the eye area as well. Okay, Acne Clear as Day is our first milk cleanser for this one. So this one is for the acne skin. So if they're oily skin, but they're breaking out, then you're going to move from your oily skin into your acne because you treat acne first. We need to get it under control. So superficial cleanse first, and it's actually going to help start fighting the bacteria that's going on in the pores, while the lemon is going to help brighten the skin and the rosemary is going to help firm. So as I mentioned, rosemary is antibacterial, antifungal, and cell renewal stimulant. We want the cell renewal to improve circulation to keep moving, so it helps the healing to begin as well. The tea tree is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and calms the redness and the swelling and inflammation. And it's quite amazing how quickly, if you have an acne skin client coming in and you're using this product line on them, you'll see the difference in their skin by the time they're done. That inflamed redness that happens is calmed completely down. It's quite remarkable. Tea tree, anti-inflammatory again, and antimicrobial. It calms the redness of the skin and that swelling inflammation, and also helps with reducing the scarring as well. Kejaput is an antifungal, smooths and brightens. And lemon, we all know that's antibacterial, natural brightening as well. And eucalyptus is in this one, and eucalyptus is anti-inflammatory and starts the healing process of the acne, psoriasis and eczema wounds. This one's a great one to use as well for anyone suffering from eczema. It helps to really calm the skin down. So again, it's that surface cleanse of the skin using water to help emulsify and get that going. It is a milk cleanser, so just keep that in mind, but you still need to add the water. It'll be more of a milky way. You can definitely put the exfoliant, a power scrub with it, but be mindful. That's more for the hands, back and face. You don't want to be doing any kind of scrubbing on acne to break open the actual pustule. All right, so cleansing at home, they would do this first, then they could do the dual cleanse, and they can use this as a shaving product, which is quite nice too, especially if they are gentlemen with acne and they get the ingrowns and the breakouts in that. This is a great cleanser for them to use when they shave. And your complete ingredient list. Next is called Let's Be Clear here. It's a gel cleanser. So again, with the gel, you're going to have a little bit more of a foaming effect to this, nothing too strong with it, but you're going to see it has some of the common products, key ingredients in there. This one has the rosemary in it though, and it's purifying and rejuvenating, has lemon peel, and this one would helps to clean the skin and helps to exfoliate, and the grapefruit. So natural exfoliants happening here to help really promote the cell renewal and the breakdown into the actual pustules to help with the healing process and to prevent more pustules from happening. And also witch hazel is in this one, anti-inflammatory and soothes and heals the skin. And palmarejoa is antibacterial, and it's actually very rejuvenating and purifying. And this is the part which begins that process of balancing the oil secretion that's happening on the skin. Surface cleanse, it's still a surface cleanse. You want them to have one or the other, the milk or the gel. And really it's going to be what you recommend, but also what is it that they prefer to use. Not a lot of oily clients like a milk cleanser. They like the feel of a gel, but maybe you find that they would do better with the milk. You just need to explain why you feel that way. Process the same, and at home it's the same. Making sure that they really do wash it off and get it off very good. And again, can be used as a shave as well. Complete product ingredient list. Beautiful. Okay, now we move into our step 1 cleansing oil. This is, again, that bacteria fighting cleansing. It cleans the skin without changing the pH level in the skin. It has lemongrass, which is also that antifungal in this as well. Vitamin E is going to promote the healing. Vitamin C is going to promote that circulation and the collagen elastin, so the repairing begins. Eucalyptus prevents bacterial growth, so that's going to stop and slow down the breakouts. And sunflower oil, is highly moisturizing, as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we're keeping everything moist, but yet helping diminish and prevent breakouts. Professionally, you do all the steps again. As you can see, it's repeating. And then at home, you just want to make sure they understand how to use it properly, and cleaning. So use that hand demo on them, and just watch what's happening. If they have lash extensions, be a reminder that oil cleanse. You don't want to have that start breaking down the glue of their lash extensions. They're not going to be happy with you. And your complete list. Step 2 is that herbal toner. So it's the detox. You can see this colors a different colors. So I got that green, more of a greeny blue to it with the product line. Again, same as the oil, but this has mistletoe, which is anti-inflammatory, and goldenrod, which is antibacterial as well, antioxidant. It has witch hazel for that natural cleaning, astringent, and soothes. There's horse chestnut in this, which helps that inflammation that happens in the skin. So it really does calm the skin. It's quite amazing what the skin looks like. If they come into you quite red and inflamed with the acne, ask if you can take a picture and then show them the after effect of using this product line. It's quite amazing. And then the garlic is in it, so it helps to increase skin tone elasticity. No, they won't smell like garlic. It's not that strong. And again, the steps are the same. Now, the one thing in here, I just highlight in there for you to see is the ionization. Can use the ampule for deep nourishing, encouraging, can be ionized into the skin with positive current for 3 minutes before your mask. So if you are using machines, then this is one, or the handheld scraper, skin scrapers. Those are have galvanic in as well. And again, your step 1 and your step 2. And then your complete list of ingredients. Moving into the Detox Healing Essential Oil Blend now. This is made with antioxidants, rich in plant extracts, and also it's going to be helping with the scarring of the skin that can definitely happen and calm that inflammation down. So spike lavender is antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and balances oil and calms the skin. This is the beginning of that calming side to the skin. Your tea tree oil, antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory. Clary sage, again, is astringent, antibacterial, regenerates the cells as well. So it's going to promote that cell turnover, which helps with the scarring of the skin and the healing begin. And grapeseed oil, the pomarosa in there as well. We've seen that before. Your professional application, again, you do 5 to 7 drops on the skin. Just be mindful how much you are moving with this skin. You don't want to bring a lot of stimulation to the skin. So padding is really good. And even with the oil cleanse, just watching how much stimulation and working with your drainage of the lymphatic of the face. So always working circular outward and then draining down in through the cheek and out to the side and in. So that helps the draining and the lymphatic side of things of the skin. Professionally, using that again, that 5 to 7 drops. You can add to the mask if you'd like as well. If you really see them inflamed, I definitely add these drops into the mask. It just boosts it even more. And again, for C-Power under the day cream and for extreme hydration will help a lot. And then for evening, you want to use it on clean skin before applying the Rehab, Hydrate, or Absorb. Home, they can do 5 to 7 drops on the skin, and they can do it at night or during the day under their creams as well. So Make Amends Healing Moisturizing Cream. This cream really does help heal the skin and really starts to work on the complexion of the skin. It has the micrococcus lysate, which is a DNA repairing enzyme. It's quite amazing. That's what's in the mushroom stem. So keeping that in mind, it really does repair the damaged cells. So it starts repairing at a DNA level, the structure of the cell itself. So it's quite something on the healing. Rice bran, you'll see this in anti-aging products as well, but it helps to reduce and inhibit the melanin production. So it gives a nice even tone, and then watching where, because there's so much blood going into the pores where the acne is, that's a high level of melanin in it. So that's why this helps with that, because it's drawing out the melanin and not having those darker kind of pigment scars that happen with the skin. Tea tree and rosemary. This is the rosemary acts as an anti-inflammatory, so it really brings down the inflammation or that puffiness to the actually acne and skin. And lemon is an astringent, and it helps to condition and tone. Again, you can massage with this. Again, using your technique into a lymphatic drainage would be really important with acne skin. Even from the moment you start cleansing them, I work in that drainage system as well. Okay, so use Under Daily Protect sunscreen or a sunscreen and add a layer to the cold months if you want, and use Rehab Acne Serum or Absorb Mattifying Serum at nighttime as a finish. At home, again, using this every day. And they can definitely use, if they're really inflamed and very oily, then you could do the Rehab Acne at night. And then you absorb mattifying serum in the day so that they have the two happening all day long, and that will help start to combat that and heal the skin. And I highlighted that micrococcus lysate. Again, that's that DNA repairing enzyme. Detox clay mask. Oops, sorry, I went a little too quick. Has kaolin, sulfur, zinc oxide in it, ginger, witch hazel, and it's nourishing to the skin. And you can, again, with the coating there, just looking up at the screen to see what you're seeing on there. So if you go to the professional application, you finish with the Rehab, Absorb, Make Amends, and your eye cream. You can apply a thin layer of this to be used in the massage as well by adding the water. Again, that's what you want to do. And yeah, generous amount. And the kaolin clay draws out the impurities of the skin and the toxins of the skin and controls the oil without the irritation. So it does do an amazing job, this mask. Moving into our Rehab Acne Healing Serum. All right. So really going to start helping with clearing up the skin. This is a definite one to bring home with them to help start combating the breakout of the skin, but yet starting the healing process at the same time. So there's that mushroom stem again. So that's the rejuvenation and repairing at a DNA level. It has rice bran in it as well. So again, that's going to be antioxidant soothing. And again, fight with the melanin production in the skin. Tea tree, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatories. So it's going to help soothe and heal the skin. Your pathanol is vitamin BA and it energizes promoting, whereas think of your vitamin E as the free radical damage, just it's all a little bit different. So professionally, daytime you apply over the sea power and underhydrate or absorb at the end of their treatment. And at nighttime, if they're coming in the evening for treatment, you apply over the essential oil and under the hydrate or the absorb. So deciding which one would be best for them, and just explain why you've chosen what you've done. So adding a few pumps, 2 to 3 to the face, and finishing with that Make Amends cream on top. And it also adds that nice skin brightening to the skin and works on that hyperpigmentation that we talked about before and the scarring. And the complete ingredients of your serum. And that was the Pathanol vitamin B50 that I was talking about. It helps to energize and promote that healing. It's really, really strong with that healing. And so is the vitamin E. It's surface healing. So it really works on the acne and begin the healing process. And the fun one of our calming reactive skin line. So stop being sensitive. We want to start repairing that sensitivity to the skin and start working on that natural barrier of the skin. So this is very, very calming. It's anti-inflammatory. It has the aloe vera and green tea and vitamin B. So it starts to heal that irritated skin. So the aloe, cypress is clarifying, toning. And again, that vitamin B I mentioned is moisturizing and healing. Also firms and hydrates the skin. Green tea is going to work on the antioxidant. And sunflower, that's nourishing, protects the skin. So again, this is your surface cleanse. Same idea, adding water. And at home, same concept, and just emulsify with water. And yes, they can use this as a shaving product as well. And your complete ingredient list. This also has the 2 steps of deep pore cleansing for the calm. It's not going to aggravate the skin. It's very soothing, actually. And usually when you start using this on them, they start to feel ease, like they feel it soothing and calming, and they notice that it feels better on their skin. So it's an instant release or relief, if you wish, especially with the soothing of the chamomile in it. And again, it brings the redness down. Sunflower seed oil, vitamin E, vitamin C, and you want to start protecting the skin, hence that vitamin C, and chamomile for that calming and soothing. Professional use is going to be the same process. And at home, same idea. Sometimes too, they get a little bit nervous being sensitive, that they think they're doing too much, but really encourage them and tell them about the ingredients that are in there, of how it's going to start to calm and relieve the skin and start building the barrier up and bring down any inflammation going on the skin. So think of your rosacea clients, your the broken capillaries, or really redness to the skin, eczema, psoriasis as well. And your complete ingredient list as well in there. Your step 2, your calm, deep pore herbal toner. Key ingredients in this one is horsetail, astringent, heals and firms and tightens the skin. The colt's foot just soothes this and really starts to regenerate and heal. And the lime acts as that stimulation for circulation. It detoxifies, but it still soothes the skin. Marigold is antioxidant, soothes and softens and heals, and chamomile again is going to help soothe and condition and still make sure that the microbiome is balancing in the skin as well. And that's kind of the things they've been talking about with eczema lately in research, that there's an imbalance of the microbiome bacteria in their skin. Again, same steps of what you're going to be doing, doesn't change. Okay, and your complete ingredient list. Beautiful. Okay, getting into the Calm Soothing Essential Oil Blend, antioxidant-rich plant extract. Again, that Roman, chamomile, and lavender. Lavender is going to be that antiseptic, soothe, and heal. And geranium is that balancing, promote circulation, and soothe any irritation going on. So it literally calms the skin down. So if you were doing an acne skin and you did a lot of extractions, or someone that had a lot of comedones, milias, and you can see they're red, you can actually add this oil on their skin to help calm and soothe it, even at the end of the treatment as your essential oil as well. So, and then using the next essential oil. So if you're trying to combat redness in the skin of any type of skin, you can add this to it. The essential oil is quite lovely. Roman chamomile, again, soothes, regenerate, and anti-inflammatory. Frankincense rejuves and tones and conditions. And this is the one that I was saying that really does help. I put a little note in there about rosacea and restores that epidermis layer of the skin. So it's really fighting to rebuild that barrier to the skin. Grapeseed oil is very lightweight, fast absorbing. So it's not going to feel oily on their skin. It's going to absorb quite quickly. Professional use is the same process. You can add to the mask again. So let's say you were doing acne skin, right? And you did a lot of extractions on someone. You can add a few drops to the mask as well, or put it directly on the skin, whichever works. It's kind of the go-to for me is when I'm calming someone's skin down so they're not fiery red when we're done. Again, always over top of sea power. Sea power is the first thing that goes on the skin. And then you can apply this and then finishing off with hydrate as well. And then their cream. So this one's a good one to send home and help them understand. It's just going to be potent and help rejuvenate the skin and start calming the skin and rebuild that barrier so we can combat that sensitivity. Your Calm Soothing Moisturizing Mask, super lightweight, it's nice. It's calming to the skin, has a green tea, aloe, avocado in this one, and shea butter. So chamomile, we've seen that in a few of the products already. It's that antioxidant, antimicrobial, and helps to soothe. The green tea is going to add that anti-inflammatory as well and repair and strengthen the skin. Avocado actually brightens and hydrates. That doesn't mean you put avocado directly on your skin. I know some people do, but they're really taking the ingredients of the avocado itself. That's going to help to brighten, hydrate, and heal. Also, if there was a superficial sunburn, this is an actually great cream to calm that down. But it definitely helps with wound healing, eczema, and promotes that anti-inflammatory to the skin. And algae, antioxidant, calms, heals, and balances. Vitamin B helps to condition, but still heals and moisturizes the skin. Again, same process in your treatment. Use as your massage by adding water and under your finishing cream, but over top of your super hydrating serum. All right, and at home, it's going to help with that hydration as well, and to really start working on repairing that skin. And your complete ingredient list. Super Soothe 2-in-1 Calming Mask. What an amazing mask, I have to say. It really helps to calm the skin down. It's a powerful mask. It relieves that red irritatedness to the skin almost instantly. They'll notice it right away when they're using this. It just feels so good. So it really does change up to 40 to 60% with just 3 minutes. So it really does calm the skin. You can also change it up by adding into the mask. That's in the mixology, but you can add a couple of this into your other masks if you've done a lot of extractions and they're quite red. So this is another go-to with that. So lavender, arnica. Arnica is promotes that cell circular calming effects. So bring in the circulation, bring up the circulation, yet it's still soothing. And then there's white tea. White tea is actually 2 times the strength of antioxidants than green tea. So it's really going to focus on repairing and strengthening. And then butcher's broom soothes irritation and moisturizes the skin at the same time. So again, using this as you normally would through your professional facial treatment. Home, you want them to leave it on for at least 10 minutes. And if you are working with a sensitive skin, try to get them to use this at least 3 times a week minimum. One thing in there is a contraindication. If you have someone that is irritated, sensitive with acne skin, then the mask isn't something to have them use at home, or watch how often they're using it. Okay, because overuse of this can actually create more oil and acne skin. So be mindful, it has a comedogenic response overusing this. So once a week might be good to help with the skin for an acne skin if you're looking to help calm the redness down. But if it's in a treatment, you don't need to worry, it's a one-time treatment. So if you were doing treatments every day all the time, then that would probably change things. And your complete list of ingredients. And all skin types. Okay, your Power Peel refining glycolic acid. So this is basically what's going to be in your all skin type person can use this. And this full strength of glycolic acid, it's 10%, and it does alter the skin pH to a 3.2. There is aloe in this, so it's going to help still soothe and repair the skin. But like the glycolic is glycolic, it's the smallest molecule, it's going to penetrate deeply. It's still going to stimulate the collagen, all the lovely things about glycolic that we love. And the Pathanol is that provitamin B, which helps to condition and heal and moisturize the skin. So applying a small amount 1 to 3 times a week at night is quite nice. I do caution this use of, depending on what else they're doing, how often you should be using this product on their skin. And think of it too of the climate change, when our seasons change, how often to do. So sometimes you can do 1 time a week, or you do 3 times a week for 1 week, and then you only go 1 time the following week. So make sure you're knowing their skin and how they are affected by it as well, okay? And if they really need more, that's that little addition in there saying for a more exfoliation, use Power Scrub the following morning. Again, be mindful, more is not better when we're over exfoliating. So just be mindful. Make sure you're subscribing things to the best benefit of their skin. As long as their skin feels plump and hydrated, moisturized, never squeaky clean or dry feeling, then you've got the right protocols in place. The Power Scrub is next. It's that ultra fine polishing paste. This is about a 7.5 pH to an 8.5 pH. And the pumice actually in this was used by ancient Romans to remove dead skin. Okay, key ingredients in this. So the diatomaceous earth is exfoliant. It's a group of minerals together, so it helps to fight the free radical damage and improve complexion and acne as well. It's really ultra fine. It's so fine. You can even add a little water to even make it less aggressive on the skin too. Has tea tree oil in it as well. And lemongrass. Lemongrass is an astringent, antiseptic, and fungicide tones as well. Professional use, you're going to apply a small amount, rinse thoroughly. You can add to the Enzyme Peel Pro or glycolic solution pro mixture for an aggressive exfoliation. So that would be on a thick skin. Body treatment, you can use this on the body as well. And at home use, as I was saying, that 1 to 3 times a week, depending on the skin. And then even using power peel the night before this helps to loosen up some more dead skin too. Complete ingredients on that. So that's the pumice I was referring to, was used by ancient Romans to remove dead skin, and that lactic acid is soothing and hydrating to the skin and brightening to the skin as well. So it's that AHA level in this power scrub. So you have the mechanical and also the AHA level. Your enzyme peel exfoliating mask. So this is the one that's going to help break down that keratinized skin for that resurfacing. This is pro size only. This is part of your facial step. There's 2 things in it with the papain and the bromelain. That's 2 fruit enzymes. So, but it still helps for that hydration and anti-inflammatory. So papain, the papaya extract, and the bromelain is the pineapple extract. So think of that enzyme side of it. And kaolin helps to absorb oils. Now you want to use 1 teaspoon and mix with a little bit of water. So it's a Caesar dressing style. We mentioned that at the beginning. So this is the one that I was mentioning that you can do some mixing with this one, but first off is actually using this, and the pH balance is 4.6 to an 8, 4.6 to 6.6 is the pH balance in this one. Professional application, again, putting it on and leaving it on. You can steam with it as well, keeping it wet. You can add, for more aggressive, is enhancing it with your power scrub. Again, knowing the thickness of the skin, or with the glycolic solution. So instead of water, you can go straight up glycolic into it. If it's the first time doing it, you can add a little water and the glycolic, as long as you get that Caesar dressing. You can also do the alpha, the next one with your salicylic lactic acid for advanced peeling. So this is when you want to build them up slowly. So if they're coming to you and they're using the things at home, you can slowly get them there, but I would not start this the first time of a facial on them and go with this and the salicylic, for example, or even the glycolic. You want to see how they do with the power scrub first, adding. So I'd start with enzyme peel first. Next time they come see is the enzyme peel with the power scrub. Maybe the next time you see them, you can say enzyme peel exfoliating mask with glycolic, right? And then this is all in the advanced treatment one, but just to give you an idea how that works, you definitely want to build the skin up to this. And your complete list of ingredients as we just went through. Glycolic Pro Solution, that's that 10%. pH is a 3. Full strength glycolic. Covered a little bit of this at the beginning there. So glycolic acid, your AHA, it's an very active exfoliant. It helps tighten, brighten, and stimulate collagen. The aloe vera, on the other hand, is going to help with that healing and moisturizing and promote antioxidant as well. Pathanol is that vitamin B, condition and heals and moisturizes. And to use in your professional, use that as an exfoliant on its own, or you can add it to your enzyme peel to create that intensive treatment. That advanced exfoliation we talked about, again, using alone on the skin with cotton. And we get more involved in this when we do advanced treatments, just so that you're aware. Complete ingredients list is there. One contraindication to keep in mind that if the skin is thin, you have to be very careful when using this. You want to build up the skin to this process first, and that's when you see the exfoliation guidelines for more information. And if you are using this or you currently purchased it, any of these acids that we have and you don't have that sheet, just send me an email. I'll be happy to send it off to you. So Sally is our salicylic lactic acid, our professional peel. Okay, this is a pro peel. There's no retail with this at all. It alters the pH to a 2.0 and it's a BHA, but it adheres to oil. Okay, so it is a mix of 20% salicylic with 4.4 of lactic. So the combination of the alpha and the beta hydroxys help to dissolve the keratinized cells. So that really thick layer. So if you have people who are diligent with their home care and they're doing exfoliations, they're doing all these things, then question why this would be good for their skin. If they don't have the breakouts and they don't have thick skin of buildup of keratin sites, so then the salicylic, what are we going to do with that? So we kind of go into a little deeper aspect of that in our advanced treatments, but just be aware, sometimes we jump onto these peels, so we all want to peel so much, but they're doing quite a bit already. Like if you are doing exfoliation already yourself and you see on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, and they've done a pro peel somewhere and they're peeling off the skin, you can just see it flaking off. That's because they have the buildup of the dead skin cells. But if you are doing all of the steps that we're talked about, the herbal toner and the oil and the power peel and all of these things and regular facials and that, how much are they really going to peel? So just keep that in mind. That's not the end goal. And don't question you didn't receive that, right? But maybe you're looking at that appearance of correcting the dark spots of the skin, the melanin that's built, the hyperpigmentation. Then there's different reasons to why you're doing this. But for general exfoliation, is it really necessary? Does the skin really need it? So I'm not saying you can't use it. Just be really mindful to what's the purpose behind it. And does it suit your client's conditions and needs and their goals? So salicylic is that BHA that I mentioned. Lactic is an AHA, so that's where it's going to help reduce those hyperpigmentation we talked about and brighten the skin. Licorice is going to be anti-inflammatory, heal and soothe the skin, so it lightens it as well. Now the salicylic is great, the BHA, for that anti-inflammatory and also reduces breakouts as well. So it is a really nice product to use. So how do we use this? So on the exfoliation, you add 5 drops to 1 teaspoon of enzyme propyl. You add enough water just to make a creamy paste, and you apply the mask with a brush. I do advise using gloves when you're starting to use any of these peels, glycolic and especially the salicylic. And the method does not need to be neutralized. It's self-neutralizing. So just keep that in mind. And additionally to that, you can add 1 teaspoon of your power scrub to the mixture if you would like. To enhance follow the professional chemical peel treatment. Again, this is in the advanced treatments. And your complete ingredient list. And one contraindication on that, just remember, thin skin, be very careful with this. It can be too aggressive, too much. And especially if they've had any other peels done, we wouldn't be doing this. So just watching for that guideline. And it's not intended for young skin. So be careful of how old you're working with people with this product line. On to our eye care. Firm and lightening gel. This has a nice brightening licorice to it. So the ginkgo biloba is an antioxidant. It increases circulation, regenerates. The lupin is a firming agent and helps stimulate collagen and tones, whereas the blackberry is going to renew, soothe, and protect, and the licorice is lightens and brightens the skin. The arbutin suppresses that hyperpigmentation, so it really works on the melanin production on that and start to break that down. And small amount, it can be used around the lip area as well. And it can be used as a serum. So if you want to spot treat actual hyperpigmentation spots, you can do that with this as well, even though it's an eye product. So small amount around the eyes can be done day and night. And definitely does help with that superficial sun damage to the skin. And like I mentioned, around the lips. And your complete ingredient list. Okay. Eyes is the Deep Puff Moisturizing Lotion. This is anti-inflammatory. It's quite nice and very brightening to the eyes. Sunflower in it, helps to calm. The anise oil reduces puffiness and also moisturizes. And of course, vitamin C helps that promote that circulation again. It helps to protect, but stimulate collagen and elastin as well. And vitamin E is that healing, rejuvenation, soothes and protects. And you apply around the eyes and add water to help absorb a little bit more if you want, and then add fresh eyes over eye contour when layering. Okay, so fresh eyes would go on after that. And your complete ingredient list. Day and night if they'd like. Morning, definitely morning for sure. And then your Eye Revive Firming Peptide. Okay, key ingredients in this one. Triptide 37 is anti-aging antioxidant. It does help to firm and stimulate. The bamboo silica regenerates conditions, and the lissy berry is antioxidant and also known as a goji berry, if you've heard of that before. And pomegranate stimulates collagen, brightens and tones. Argan is extreme conditioning properties, and carrot seed, we've heard that one a few times through these lines, anti-aging powerhouse, rejuvenates. And this again, apply a small amount around the eye. Again, you can add water to help absorb a little bit deeper. And because it's pulling the moisture into the skin, it will help revive that as well. And then revive eye contour and fresh eyes when layering. Okay, so adding the Eye Revive over the Eye Correct and fresh eyes when layering. So this will be your last one on top. All right. Desert clay mask is a smectite clay, and it's a group of clay minerals that have the ability to expand their weight in water, and that's creating that hydration to it. So that's the big thing about this desert clay mask. It's amazing to mix in with your products or by itself. So again, this is pro size only. So how you prepare this mask, this is the one that you can actually mix in with your other masks or on its own by itself if you like. It works really well when you're mixing with products. So that's a third of it, or a fourth and a fourth, depending on how many product of masks you're using at one time. So mixing 1 tablespoon with water into a paste is great, or like I said, customizing your mixing with other Tuel masks. After nourishing the massage, you're removing the massage cream, apply a generous coat of this, leave on for 10 minutes. Again, it will dry, so feel free to make sure you moisten the area first before removing it. Relax essential oil, pardon me. This is in cabine size. This is the one that we use the most, I find. And again, it's the only one with no lavender in it. So it's mandarin, grapefruit, rosewood, black pepper, which helps to warm and helps with that circulation. And again, it's that cell renewal. And Jupiter actually improves the circulation, starts to promote the healing. And fir is in this as well, increases metabolism and detoxifies. And the jojoba is helping with the moisturizing, but yet antibacterial and antioxidant. So again, applying it before your mask, before your massage, pardon me, for the 3 big deep breaths. You can also use this with lead light therapy, so you could put some on and then apply to targeted areas before using your LED lights. And of course, it can be used on the body as well. Okay, moving into pre-extraction solutions. This is the one I was mentioning that is going to help with your extraction, so do use it. The pH is 8 to 10. Sodium borate is in it. It raises the pH, but will naturally neutralize, okay? So you don't have to worry about it. It does help soften the comedones and the breakout areas that you're thinking, or milias, the white comedones trapped under the skin. So what you want to do is with the extractions, you want to saturate the cotton pad or gauze and place it on the area and leave it there for a few moments. You can also use your galvanic, your negative charge of galvanic over the pads for 3 minutes. So running that over top and mixing an amount of into your enzyme peel as well for the extractions on those small pores and congested areas will help as well. So your pre-extraction solution is a game changer when it comes to extractions and your facials. Using the pre-extraction, then you definitely want to make sure that you're going into the next one, which is your post-extraction solution. This is a 3 to 4 pH level. Helps to soothe the skin and stimulate and helps that antibacterial. It's a cooling effect. It detoxifies. The witch hazel is that natural cleanser, astringent, and soothes. The dandelion is germicidal, so it's going to help detoxify as well. It also brightens the skin. And arnica promotes the circulation and calms the skin. And your green tea is, again, that repairing, anti-aging, and strengthens. So same idea, you just apply to the extracted area with a wet cotton, and then you can use your positive galvanic to help bring it in a little deeper and start to begin to close your pores, as they say, and help to soothe the skin. In the mask, you can mix in a few drops of this in your detox clay to create that germicidal effect for that severe acne. And actually pre-wax, this is amazing for pre-wax, especially underarm bikini area, because it helps to soften up the area and soothe the area as well. And your complete ingredients. All right. As I said, we don't have any SPF right now. And then the last part that we're going to go through was our serum. Now we're getting close to the 1:30 mark, the ending. So I'm going to pause here. And I'm going to just stop sharing for a moment. And I thought maybe we can go into any questions you may have, what you're thinking, how is it going so far? And I'm just going to go here and find that chat because we had a few questions there as well. All right, how are we doing, my friends? Any questions? So one of the things that came up, I'll address, do you think using enzyme peel mask and add the pro-glycolic would be suitable for young acne clients without going to the pro? That's correct. So as we mentioned, the glycolic, I hope that answered your question. Just go light. I would dilute to start with. Just watch how much you're using and just see how the skin is and how young is young. So be mindful if it's teenagers, right? It can be too aggressive to the skin, but definitely no salicylic lactic acid. And the forms, we do have forms. And yeah, we can send them off. If you have anything that you would like, if you have more questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I do my best to respond to you quickly. And let me know if there's any other information you'd like to cover. Our next ones are going to be on mixology and advanced treatments as well. So we dive deeper into those peels that you were asking about. Awesome. Well, if there's no other questions, I will let you go. Enjoy your day. Thank you for joining me today. And we are working on a platform, like I said, for resources of videos and information. And we'll try to have that up before the end of the year. It's quite the process of recording and getting it to our video people to edit and make ready for this platform. Excellent. So I'm going to stop recording.